are a horrible person. You deserve to be insulted and attacked. You are not deserving of a civil conversation. This always confused me because I love debates. I love listening to debates online, whether that be from left-wing people or right-wing people, or simply when I watch left-wing commentators. And when I hear somebody say this, it always puzzled me. Why would you say this? You're a horrible, evil person, you don't deserve common respect or courtesy, and I'm not going to entertain a conversation with you. You're not going to convince anybody when you're accusing them of something that they don't believe, and that is obviously untrue, and you're just calling them evil, and you're attacking them, you're just insulting them. What do you hope to gain from this? And I thought about this for weeks on end. It bugged me to no end, but I figured it out. And unfortunately, I came to a very grim conclusion. You see, those statements, you're not worthy of respect or courtesy, we cannot have a civil conversation, none of that is designed to persuade you. It's designed to radicalize the people who already agree with him. If you had two commentators and they're discussing and they're talking things out, and one of them says that to the other, their goal is no longer to talk things out with you. Their goal is to simply radicalize, polarize, and isolate their own audience.
Go.
Dude,
Stop
stop
talking.
molding. I'm just
Shut
trying
up.
to argue in good faith with you.
You're not arguing in good faith at all. You're over here insulting women, saying they're useless and weak, and then saying the difference of 5 pounds
When
is
did
gonna
I
make it
say
so a
they're
woman
useless and
can't be in the fucking military. You're one of the most embarrassing, pathetic pieces of shit that I've ever encountered.
Why are you so mad?
Because you are
I said
pathetic.
they're not.
It's to paint the other person as an evil human being that cannot be talked to or reasoned to.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So I got a video for you guys from a content creator by the name of Remnant777. I'll be sure to leave the link to this video if you want to check it out in its totality and support his channel. He's going to be going over how the left dehumanizes the right. And you can make this argument that it goes the other way around as well. I'm not going to sit over here and deny that and say that's not a thing. However, I think what's more important about this message more than anything is to pay attention to how people have these debates and I guess you could say arguments, because as you've seen in the intro, the moment somebody disagrees with you and they start throwing and hurling insults at you, usually that's a sign that you're winning the argument and they just don't like what you're saying. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
This video is designed for people who are right-wing. Title obviously says how the radical left dehumanizes people on the right. But for people who are left-wing who just so happen to click on this video, I'm going to try and give examples that you can also relate to and understand. If you had two people and one person said, I care about these kids who claim to be trans, but I don't think they're trans. I think that they're simply confused. I think that they need to get some help. And the other side simply says, you want trans kids to die, you hate them. Because he said those things, he's not aiming to convince that person. That's not going to convince him. The right-wing person doesn't believe any of those claims that are being made against him. The sole purpose of those statements are to make it so that people no longer interact with or communicate with people who make those claims. It kills discourse because you can better isolate people and polarize people if they no longer communicate. And for my left-wing audience, let me give you a right-wing example so that you can relate to this. If you're talking to a person and you say you're pro-choice, you say, I'm in favor of women's rights, I want them to have access to women's healthcare, it protects women and it also gives them freedom. Imagine you said those things and the other person, instead of engaging with anything you said, they simply claim against you, actually, you're a Satanist. You simply want to sacrifice babies to Moloch or Satan. You're a Satanist right now. You hate life. You want to kill innocent babies. That's all you want at the end of the day. You just hate babies. How can you talk to or communicate with a person like that? People on the right, if they truly believe those things, how could they possibly ever have a rational conversation with you? They can't. You're an evil Satanist. We can't talk to you. And it basically has the exact same effect. It's intended to have that exact same effect, but for the other side. Especially considering you don't believe any of those things. I guarantee 99% of my audience who's pro-choice, they're probably not Satanists who want to sacrifice babies to Moloch. Okay? Can we agree on that? I think so.
I agree with him 100% because as a person who I probably come off as somebody who believes in more conservative values. I am pro-choice, and the reason why is because I don't want women to bring children into this world that they don't want. I don't want I don't want women to bring children into this world that they think they can't take care of. If they are not ready to be a mother, or if they don't want to be a mother, I don't want you to bring those children into the world. And that's just my stance on that. But I never, ever saw women or anybody that was pro-choice as, oh, you're a Satanist, you're just this evil person. I never looked at people that were pro-choice that way. So it does go to show you that there are some people that are out here that are having these arguments and debates that are very, very, very extreme, and I'm just not with that. I never looked at people that are pro-choice that way. But also, it always bothered me whenever you hear men say that they wouldn't date a trans woman, and trans women want to call those men transphobic. That shit pisses me off too, because why is it that a man can't just sit over here and say, I don't want to date trans women? You understand? So yeah, it definitely goes both ways, and you definitely see it on both sides. So I gotta agree with him on that, because I don't agree with either side when it comes to shit like that. That shit just stupid to me. But let's keep it moving.
Yet I'm sure this is not the first time you've heard that talking point, right? That's what's happening in American politics today. And the exact purpose behind this is so that they can radicalize their own audience, because that pushes them away from honest, open communication with the other side and pushes them towards taking action. We need revolutionaries. We don't need people who can think. And I've broken it down to what literally every radical leftist does. In our train of thought, we start off with Nazi. Nazis are bad because they killed innocent people. They killed quite a few if you know anything about history. And we don't talk to Nazis. Instead, we should make them feel uncomfortable. In fact, good people will do bad things to Nazis. We're supposed to punch Nazis. But you know what Nazis are also? They're fascists. Nazis are fascists, but what is fascism, you may ask? Well, we're not really going to specify that. We're going to leave it nice and vague, because we're simply going to talk about what fascism means to me. And what fascism means to me is simply whatever I disagree with that infringes on my freedoms and rights. If you disagree with women's rights to abort children, you're a fascist. If you disagree with trans rights to mutilate themselves, you're a fascist. That's how their train of thought goes. And who exactly is fascist again? Literally everybody who voted for Trump. Half of the American population. That is fascist. But wait, if you're fascist, that means you're a Nazi. And if you're a Nazi, it's good if bad things happen to you. You see what I'm getting at? These are the mental gymnastics they go through in order to justify violence against you. These people literally have more sympathy for child murderers, abusers, and than people who vote right wing. And again, I want to make it clear, I literally have nothing against people who are left wing. I enjoy talking to them. I think they're fun people. We disagree on practically everything, but I still like them. I still can be friends with them. I don't have a problem with people who are left wing. I want to clarify that. We are simply exploring the radical left, which is becoming much more prominent these days. Yet take note of this. They don't overtly condone violence. They don't. That would get them banned off of YouTube, or worse, they could possibly be imprisoned because that's illegal. And the left is not known for being brave, mind you. Instead, they like to play it safe. If somebody they disagree with dies, they don't condemn it, they don't care. In fact, they're gonna laugh at it. That's all they can do. That's as close to the edge they're willing to go.
Corey Comparator was a horrible person. Dying for your child does not mean that you love them or take good care of them. What? The Trump supporter that died was a lunatic. He was most likely a fascist, and I mean, he was at a Trump rally, man. What do you expect?
Did I hear that man just say, what? Hold on, this is coming from a person that doesn't have children, bro. If I had children, bro, I am gonna be more than willing to put my life on the line for them. Simply off of logically speaking, I've been on this earth a lot longer than them, and they haven't even had a chance to experience life yet. Just off of that logic alone. Fuck politics, fuck being a fascist or whatever else, whatever these other labels you want to put on people. What are you talking about? You mean to tell me you wouldn't put your life on the line for your own children? Huh? That's weird. I'm sorry, y'all. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine, but that's weird to me, man. Aren't you supposed to protect your children, even if it means putting your own life on the line? Or am I missing something? What the fuck is wrong with people in America, bruh? That doesn't make any sense to me, man. Okay.
Like, he probably wanted trans people to die.
When a Trump supporter dies, who cares? He probably was a fascist. In fact, let's laugh at him. Let's dance on his grave. After all, you shouldn't be made to feel safe. Hassan, for example, he overtly hates white Christians. He hates us so much that he flat out admits it would be better if they got than other groups.
Henry College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like, in some respects, a little bit better.
So let's recap. It's not only better for us to be they also don't care when we die, and they also get pleasure out of it. They'll laugh on your grave because you deserve it. After all, you have an evil ideology, and there's no possible way that you could believe those things and not be evil, deserving of death. Do you still not believe me when I say those things? You're going to. Not only do they laugh when we die, but Hassan openly admits that people should landlords.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude. Oh my god, in a video game, of course.
Because he's a communist. He's a crypto communist. But Hassan, he's not a man of principles. He doesn't care about morality, especially when it comes to telling the truth. Being honest is a disadvantage to these people. No, instead, he needs to spread the good, holy Marxist spirit, even to Landlord's podcast, where he shares his beliefs, and he does not hesitate to lie to their face about what socialism is.
It is about equity instead of equality. That's what people misunderstand about socialism. It is not about equity instead of equality at all. We don't have material equality as a baseline in this country. We don't have that at all. I'm advocating for a baseline of material equality, and I'm advocating for better worker protections, better worker rights, and less alienation.
That's all a lie. That's a fucking lie. What he's talking about can happen in a capitalist system, and it is explicitly not what socialism is about. It's not about materially equal conditions. That's called welfare or redistribution, which capitalism can do, right? You're talking specifically about getting rid of or eliminating the profit, or at the very least, redirecting the profit to workers. You want to destroy private ownership because owners that don't work shouldn't be collecting money off of people that do. That's fundamentally what your belief is. And that's not even like this is what Marxists believe. This is what you believe. You said this on stream, mother. His idea of socialism is what Republicans called socialism in 2005. Socialism is when you pay your taxes.
Socialism is just when government does more stuff. Not at all when we execute you. Keep in mind, this guy's channel is literally dedicated to teaching people how to become landlords and to become millionaires. He actively teaches people to become the things Hassan hates and advocates for the death of those people. Yet he's perfectly fine sitting down having a cup of coffee with these people, as long as it means getting the good message out there. Because again, these aren't men of principles.
You call it selling out your principles, I call it fucking winning. And that's my principle, to win as a socialist, not to lose as a socialist. That's not my principle. I don't give a about principled failure. Principled failure is worth dog shit.
These people don't care about truth. They want power. They only care about winning in their own words. And being a man of principles means you gotta tell the truth at least, right? But that only holds you back because these people, they're not honest with you about what they believe.
You have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda. You want America, in the way that I feel about it, and if you want America to get out of the way, or places with more revolutionary potential to do what they would normally do, I think that one thing you have to do is advocate for a lighter form, while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond social democratic idea.
That's what these leftists are taught to do. That's what they actively do. They don't reveal fully what they believe. No, we gotta water it down first. Make it easier for people to digest. We water down the information so that they can be set on the right path of radicalization, which should be really concerning for you, even if you're a centrist. Because if this is the watered down message where they think it's better for you to be and they don't care when you die, what do they really believe? I mean, this is what they're totally fine openly admitting and showing to people. They have no problem with this. This is not the most radical part of their message. It's not just, haha, it'd be funny if you die. It's they want you dead. They're actively working towards that goal. Look at what they're doing. They're proactively taking steps to make their own audiences not communicate with people who disagree with them. They're supposed to be rude, disrespectful, simply call you a Nazi and an evil person, and call it a day. We can't talk to these evil subhumans because at the end of the day, this is language designed to dehumanize you. You're no longer a person who simply has different views or opinions on what's best for the world. No, you just are evil and you hate people.
Yep, because I see that a lot. Well, I'm not going to say a lot, but I see it often enough in my comments for it to bring attention to it, because multiple times I've had people in my comments say something along the lines of, oh, you must hate women, or why are you trying to create a divide? Or let's see, what else have I heard? Oh, you just feel this way because you can't get women, and I don't know how you can speak this way when you're not. I'm like, bro, I got a whole girlfriend now. Me and her been together, damn, time flies, like 6 or 7 months now. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all gotta stop it with this shit, man. Because even I get attacked and called names simply because of the fact that I don't pander to women. And only because I'm trying to show men what to look out for. Because at the end of the day, I know deep down that I can't get women to change their minds like that for real. All I can do is inform the men and make them aware so that way they don't make the same mistakes that I make. And if they're looking for certain things, that they know what to look out for, so that way they don't get hit, or they don't get hit with the finesse, man. Simple as that. I'm like, I made this channel simply to protect men and speak up for the everyday average 9-to-5 man. That's the reason why I named this channel Average Man Unplugged, because when I saw people having these conversations and I came into this space, the one thing that really stood out was that it seemed like a lot of these conversations were elitist conversations where it was all about the top 10% of men and all these women wanting those men. But it's like, okay, well, what about the other 80-90% of men? We're just supposed to disregard them when we know damn well most of those men are what really makes the country continue to run. So no, I'm not going to sit over here and ignore that. That's what inspired me to make this channel. And you can ask anybody in the comments. A lot of people that watch me are truck drivers and blue collar workers. So obviously, not to toot my own horn, but damn, I must be doing something right.
No longer do you simply believe that, hey, I think abortion is murder. I value the life of a child. No, it's you hate women. That's what these people unironically believe. If you think that transitioning children is wrong, you want trans kids to die. If you're against welfare and you think that's wasteful spending, and there are better ways to help the homeless, no, you just hate the homeless and you want them to suffer. That is what these radical leftists unironically believe about the right. Verbatim. It's because they're not even just left-wing. Because a left-wing person, maybe they have the ability to interact and talk to people on the right. Hey, they understand that we don't agree, but we both want what's best for the world. Not a radical leftist, though. No, they don't talk to you because their own audience decided to isolate you from them. They want them to hate you, because if they hate you, it's going to be a lot easier to lead a revolution where they execute you. They make it a point to sympathize and empathize with criminals, rapists, murderers more than you. Which side is in favor of the death penalty? Not the left. They think that Murderers? They're simply disturbed or unwell human beings. No, people who actually murder, they're not evil. We gotta help them. We must advocate for rehabilitation for these people. Unless you say the N-word. No, if you say the N-word, you're actually just a horrible, evil person, and there's no possible reason for it other than you're just evil. For the we gotta extend sympathy and empathy. For the racist, none is given. No, when it comes to Shiloh, because she said the N-word, they justify doing horrible, evil things to her. If you say the N-word, it is good to dox you, to steal your social security number, to swat you, to harass you, to try and ruin your life, to try and get you fired from your job so that you can't feed your children, because she's racist. Just like all white people are racist, according to them. Because remember, being killed is a good thing in these people's eyes. That's what they believe. If there was a situation where a woman, she was being murdered by a man, and that woman just so happened to call him the N-word right before she died, people would say she deserved it. In fact, people would be happy it happened to her. That's how these people's moral compasses operate. Look at these videos. Keep in mind, she literally just said the N-word, and this is what they have to say for her.
My mama would have went to that house, knocked on her door, dragged her by that skinny little blonde ponytail, and turned her every which way but loose. And then she'd be like, go get my bail money. I feel like it is time for us to start turning the other cheek. And I mean their cheek, not our cheek, okay? I think it's time for us to start showing them who the fuck we are.
And the fact that you did that when that little boy's parents were not around, they were not present. What kind of person are you behind closed doors? Like, I'm fearful of your children, and I hope that they get removed from your care.
That lady, Shiloh Hendricks, whatever the name is, people like her, they deserve a bullet. They really do.
Ooh, the fucking way I would have rearranged that bitch's face if I was in front of her. But I hope and pray that they find your location, and I hope they dog walk your stupid ass. And when you good and gone, I hope somebody finds your grave and piss on that shit.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Now, obviously I'm black. So I got a little bit mixed feelings about this. And I can tell you right now, I actually know from experience what it's like to be called an N-word from a white person. It's not a good feeling. However, when it did happen to me, and this happened to me when I was a teenager, I remember it like it was yesterday. Me and my friends were literally walking back home, getting off the bus coming from somewhere, and it was some white guys in a truck walking by, and they just yelled the N-word, and funny thing about it is I don't recall us really getting mad about it. If anything, we kind of laughed about it because in our minds, we were thinking to ourselves like, dude, it's a big group of us and you're riding past in a truck yelling the N-word. Dude, you do realize if you would have got out of the truck and said that and would have started something, it definitely would have been on and popping. But the fact that you rolled past saying that lets me know what type of person you are. So we just kind of laughed it off like, y'all soft. Y'all don't want this work for real. You know what I mean? We just kept going on about our business, but we didn't sit over here wishing death upon these people or anything. But back then TikTok wasn't a thing, so that's probably why. But I don't know. It's like I don't condone people using the N-word, to be honest with you. Even myself, I've been trying to restrain from using that word. I rarely use that word anymore. So I don't agree with anybody using that word, regardless of race, including our own, because I think we need to move on from using that. However, I wouldn't wish evil things upon anybody just because they said that. But at the same time, it's like, if you say that around the wrong person, around the wrong black person, and you end up getting punched in the mouth for it, you had what's coming to you. But I'm not wishing that on anybody. Just putting that out there. Let's keep it moving.
Again, these people think that if you say one word, you deserve to be raped and murdered. When it happens to you, they will be happy and gleeful. They hate you. And look, this is negative information, really negative topic for this video. But I'm only saying this because I truly believe that this is the case. I'm never this strong or stern with what I say. And the only reason why I'm saying it right now is it's because it's the truth, and you need to hear this. These people are trying to polarize their audiences so that they hate you more, and they're more willing to do evil things against you. Because again, when they call you an evil monster that doesn't deserve courtesy or respect, it's not to change your mind, it's to isolate their own audience and to radicalize their own side.
I agree with him 100% on that. Y'all let me know what you thought about this, and I'll make sure I leave the link to the description for this video if you want to watch it in its totality. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's what the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all, deuces.